This is Joe and Stephanie. This is
Hi,
my wife Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Joe. Pleasure.
Hi.
We're in Wellsville, New York at Wellsville Brewing Company. Tom is the head brewer.
I'm the head brewer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a master brewer, but rather I'm the head
Okay.
brewer. So I
All
kind of
right.
like design the beers and get the brew day ready. And then Sean and I have basically been doing most of the brewing.
Okay.
So we bought the building back in 2016 and it took us 2.5 years to renovate. And then we're up and running since October 2018.
Okay, great.
So
What's your background with brewing, or
Well, Phil Heyer was a
Yeah.
friend of ours. He started brewing as soon as Jimmy Carter changed the law. So he was brewing in his kitchen on pots that he had and trying to keep the mash warm in the stove. So he really knew what he was doing. And so we started brewing in the cellar. I was teaching school at the time. So every
This is
vacation.
like
This is about 10 years.
10 years ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's been about a 10-year odyssey for me.
Yeah.
So every vacation day I was brewing something in the cellar. We would have a good time talking.
Cool.
And stuff.
Okay.
So then the other guys kind of came along and did a little bit with me and with Phil, and then we started talking about this and got it going. So,
This is great. Okay.
So we have a 3-barrel system.
Okay.
So we have 4 fermenters and 4 bright tanks, and any given time we've got either a full. Right now we've got 4 full tanks and 4 full fermenters or bright tanks. So we're going to be and our big thing, our big learning curve now is trying to move the beer in and out.
Sure. Sure.
As people drink it.
How often do you brew? Like how many days a week generally is your general schedule?
Once, twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week,
Okay.
depending on the crowd that week and what we've got. Fermenter empty, so yeah, it's been at least once a week and sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a week.
Yep, yep. And you're still getting in the, probably the swing of it thing. So I mean, you've only been
Right.
business since October, so
Right, we're still trying
Gauging
to
business.
Yeah, gauging the flow of the business, and we're getting better at keeping the things going. Like our Killer Light is our #1 beer, and
okay.
we sold out of that the first weekend.
Oh,
so
nice.
now we always have at least one in the works or one in the pipeline, so we're never running out of that anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's great. So are you a designated farm brewery? Or?
Yes, we're a designated farm brewer.
Okay.
So we're getting most of our grains from New York Craft Malt up in Batavia, some from 1886 out of Fulton.
Sure.
And then our hops are coming mainly from Crooked Creek out of Addison and the New York Hop Alliance.
Okay.
There. So those are our base malts, base hops.
Yep.
And then we're getting adjunct stuff from wherever I can find it.
Cool.
So yeah.
Any new releases coming out in the next couple of weeks that we should maybe?
Geez, we've got an Irish Red coming.
Yeah.
Named after Sean's dad, which I won't say what his nickname was. Well, you can find out about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some Irish Red coming out soon. We got a porter on again, our basic porter, and this is we're trying a Bruck, our brew. Yeah, but that's a new one that we're gonna try. That's really a drier finishing beer. Gotcha. Yeah. So it's an interesting process there.
Neat.
And yeah, so the Mosaic just came back on, which is a smash beer. Mosaic hops.
Awesome. What's your favorite beer that you produce? Or?
Well, I
What's your
really
go-to?
like the Citra.
Okay.
But hoppier beers. I want to do some New England style IPA.
Yeah.
Sometime down the line here. I like Founders All Day IPA.
Sure.
So I've got a recipe that's very similar to that.
Yeah.
So I want to try that.
Awesome.
So the summer will be a little more IPA, a little more lighter beers.
Of course.
And then like Brett's smoked Scotch Ale. Everybody likes that. Brett was a friend of ours who really loves Roarback's smoked Scotch Ale.
Yes.
So we tweaked it with some smoked malt. And people love it, but last batch for a little while until fall.
Okay. Awesome. Tom, I appreciate your time.
Thank
you, my friend.
I'm so glad you guys
Yeah,
stopped by.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. So this is the old bar, and it was over here. When we knew it, the bar was up front in like a circular bar. So Then these are just maps. Then it was Howard's forever, since we remember, you know.
What was Howard's?
It was a restaurant,
Restaurant?
you know, famous for its Manhattans,
Oh, there we go. Yep.
and a lot of deals went down in the back room.
Oh yeah.
So this is kind of like what it looked like when we got it here with this window, and the doors were a little different, but that's Howard Engelball. He's the one who ran it. And then this is, you know, to me it looks like classic Mad Men scene, you know.
Sure.
The old
Beautiful.
chairs, yeah, you know. It was the place to be to do a deal, you know.
Yep.
But that's the bar that was here when we took it over.
Okay.
So those are this is right out of high school. I think his dad, he wanted to be an accountant, but his dad said no, you're going to run the store. And then this is my great grandfather Henry, who had a bakery down the street here, and that's where they used to run.
So there are 2 bakeries in town?
Well, they moved at different places,
Okay.
and then they ended up having a wholesale place that ran breads on the trains, and then they eventually opened that place on Main Street.
Okay.
That's him. This is my grandfather Henry here when he was young, and that's his dad. And I don't, you know, of course, I don't remember that at all. That
So
was
you didn't want to be a baker, huh?
well, you know, now we're baking grain.
Yeah, it kind of comes full
Yeah,
circle.
there's the Worthington when it was still more steam turbine. Of course, so many people worked there.
Sure.
This is Ed's grandfather from North Tonawanda running at the
The Wurlitzer.
the Wurlitzer plant running a press.
Wow.
So that's where Ed grew up.
Okay.
And then Sean's great grandfather on his mother's side ran a shoe store down on that block by the bakery, and that's his grandfather, great grandfather. And see, all the stores were narrow and long, just like the bakery was.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's that
This
picture
is
of
here,
the
right?
bar,
Yeah.
and what it might have looked like around that time frame.
Okay.
And then, of course, Pinky Ryan, who ran
Right.
his first saloon here.
That's
and
the doc.
Dr. Witter.
Yep.
And then Jim's family grew up on a farm up on the hill up here. And as Sean says, that there's his grandfather in the family limousine. As a manure spreader.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. So they add a guy.
Uh-huh.
So this guy, Phil Duke, said, well, this is a good idea. So he started this group up. So there's 3 Dukes,
Uh huh.
Eddie, Phil, and Doug.
Still alive.
No.
No.
And there's 3 Greeks. So there's Tony Toporis, John Regas, and Steve Kritikos. And then Spike Daly, his name is. He said, and there's 3 mutts. Me, Spike, your dad, and Bob Gardner, who was our mayor forever. And then the next year they invited the other guy in.
Okay.
So they've met regularly for,
Oh wow.
I don't know, right through the 90s and 2000s.
That's
And now,
great.
so Eddie's still alive, Phil's still, Spike's still alive, and John Regas is still alive down in College Street. So,
Wow.
so we,
Right, sure. Yeah, big. No, yeah, he had that. He's always got a no, he's so